What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
We began by actually riding and protecting marchers during different protests. There was no structure or process to protect them from the oncoming traffic and different things that would arise. Many feel that it's a safe entry point into protesting.
I never planned on throwing my own protest. My friend got murdered by the police in San Diego when I was like 15. Those cops never got fired or arrested or anything, and people are still getting murdered every day. I felt it was my need to come out and participate.
We're at a point where every week we have 50,000 bikes out, so there has to be a lot of growth as far as leadership and organization.
It is taking an emotional toll on me just because I have so many other people's hearts involved, but it's worth it.
I think one of the main things that happens on a bicycle that doesn't happen when you're marching is the amount of distance you cover. And in the distance that you cover, especially for certain people who stick to very small pockets of the city, you get a landscape of the city. And in that landscape, you see how it's uneven, you see how areas are served and underserved. And that might not be as immediately apparent if you're marching, because if you're marching 1 mile, you might not go through 7 different neighborhoods of various kind of classes, races, etc., whereas on a bicycle, you're probably going to cross it.
So our rides, which we call the justice rides, we like to describe them as a moving billboard. And it's a billboard that is amplifying the cause. And the cause is our fight against police violence, a tainted criminal justice system, and systemic racism. We're not just a protest. We don't just say like, meet here, let's protest and go. We train them to be leaders, going to other protests like Occupy and seeing folks who began by volunteering with us, managing brigades of bikes. That's exactly what this is all about.
I'm 16. Being a part of the Street Riders, it really changes how I'm going to be growing up, because as a young age, that's where we build our opinions. So my role is pretty much to get my members to block the traffic. We tell everyone to be respectful because we're not fighting the public.
Not a protest against the people, protest against the police. So if you know that it's a couple cars coming and they got the right of way before we get there, you can let them go.
I thought it was important to start doing training because we had a lot of volunteers. We had to make sure we were all on the same page. If somebody falls, you guys wrap around them with your bikes and make sure they don't get trampled on. And I'm not tired. I'm never going to be tired. I was tired of how we were living before.
Take these rides not only as an exercise or a way to get out because you've been locked up in quarantine this whole time. Take this time to understand.
This is a protest. It's not a party. It's not a joyride. We're just using the bike as a tool to protest. We're not using the protest as a reason to bike.